Hello, all, and welcome to the zoo.
Why am I here?
Minions of the Zoo is a lovable ragtag group of misfits that sprang up initially as a fan group to Ranting Monkey, Scribelite, Some Dumb American, and their joint Lords of the Night livestream show. Late night discussions in Discord quickly evolved into streams of their own, with each member bringing something new and different to the table for discussion. Led by the incomparable Reject PPC and the One-Ton Hammer, the group rotates hosts known as Zookeepers.
Hello everybody and welcome to Minions of the Zoo. I am your host for this evening, One-Ton Hammer.
I will be your zookeeper tonight, Reject.
Alright, and welcome to the zoo. I am the Lucky Pop-Tart.
Inquisitor. Sanguine.
Skep, Tock.
I'm Prospero.
Fat Platypus.
Chaosy. And I'm Della Hazed.
Regular streamers, they're known as minions. And special guests are known as traveling exhibits. They're on a nightly basis, so that each show has something unique and fresh for our audience. Minions of the Zoo currently streams at 10:30 Central Standard, 11:30 Eastern Standard Time.
I forgot I left the dog up. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Minions of the Zoo show. I'm your host, Adam of the Veggie clan first. I'm subbing in for Quiz on a Monday. It's Monday. And I'm hanging out with Terry. How you doing, Terry?
Hello.
Yeah, and since I am subbing, like I was telling Terry, this is my stand-in Jaco. So
Yes.
if I'm gonna host on a Monday, there's my Jaco. Although Jaco's a much handsomer dog than this guy, but he's so round.
Before we get too far into it, I got a message from Six asking if he could join. I said he should be fine to just join the voice chat, but I thought I should let you know to expect him.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, just jump in quiet of the set. And you gotta show me your papers or something like that. But how are you this evening, Terry?
What's that?
Oh, how are you doing this evening?
Hey, good. How about you?
Pretty good. I mean, it is Monday, so you can't really go too far past that. What am I looking for? Here we go.
I tend to forget what day it is because
Oh, shit,
every
hold
day is
on.
kind of the same to
I
me.
think I gotta invite him.
So it's like, oh yeah, it is Monday, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mostly use the Minions host to remind me what day it is. It's like, oh right. Yes, it's it's Hammer's day, so it's Thursday because I'm a day in the future.
Oh yeah, you're a future guy. So it's Tuesday, right?
Yeah.
It is but Tuesday. Fucking Terry Bison over here. Alright, yeah, we'll play some Street Fighter at the end of this.
It is good.
Yeah. No, yeah, it's it's the start of the week. Pretty much I just started at this new job and it's been going pretty good. And the thing I like about it is they're pretty lax on, I guess, they're not breathing down your neck type of thing.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so I was using my tablet throughout the day while I was working on machines and they didn't say anything. So I'm like, all right, well, I got to figure out how to fix my tablet up so I could get some drawing apps on there and just start doodling away while I'm working.
Yeah.
So yeah, hold on. I think I have to. Okay. Well, he said said he's firing up the old comp. I mean, you don't have to set it on fire. Yeah, that look the dog is getting. Exactly. Yeah, nice joke there, Mr. Adam. Yeah, so there's that. There is a couple of things I wanted to talk about, especially in the video game world. So, have you seen that Nintendo's going to have a Direct tomorrow?
I have not watched a single Nintendo Direct. I don't even really know what they are. I've just heard about them. There's basically what happened was for a while Nintendo was like, if you stream our games, we will get you demonetized, and so no one covered their games, and so I just kind of fell off the Nintendo train because no one was talking about them for like a year, and so like I don't know what's going on in the Nintendo world. Hey, Six.
What's going on, Six?
I can't hear Six at all.
Yeah,
I can hear
Oh, there
Six.
Oh, there it is.
There he is.
I can hear Six very well. So very well. How are you tonight, guys?
What's going on, man?
Well, currently my apartment smells like blacktop resurfacer because my apartment buildings are currently resurfacing one half of the apartment parking lot.
Ah.
So that's
What?
I have this strange sort of industrial smell that is permeated my apartment right now.
Lovely. That's what you want.
So. Well, not necessarily, because it's kind of put a wrinkle in my getting a cat plans. So I'll probably have to wait a day or two longer than I had originally expected to do that. Which kind of sucks because I wanted a little more time to invest in the whole process, which is a bit more elaborate than I had originally anticipated. There's it's one of those little rescue spots where you go in there and then you have this lady that evaluates to see if she's sees anything that there's a rapport opening up between yourself and a cute little floofy thing and so on and so forth. I don't know. It's a bit different than just like going to the pound and say, "Hey, I want that thing in the cage there." It's the pet foster system, which I'm.
How much is that doggy in the window?
Yeah, pretty much. So yeah, that's the place that I have my eye on right now. To go and pick up a kitty cat.
Nice.
Man, I want to get a kitty cat. Was it a chicken?
Hmm?
No, I thought I heard a chicken.
Yeah.
No, I want to get a kitty cat. Oh shit! Let me gotta welcome the people in chat. Welcome, chat. I haven't been paying attention.
I've been saying hi to people.
We got Jen in there. That thank you, Jen, for helping me make a successful rhyme on the Rapping Robots game last night. So, I had to find something that rhymed with taxi, and first thing that popped in my head was Jen T Maxi.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
And there's Costin.
And the Cannibalistic Wizard as well. I think that's all of them.
Yeah.
That's a smaller Monday audience.
But what were you saying about Nintendo Direct, Adam? Sorry.
Oh, well, it's gonna be tomorrow, so I think it's gonna be like 40 minutes long, something like that. And the big thing that a lot of people like to goof on. Oh shit! I'm sorry.
Oh boy.
All right, I didn't mean it.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
I'm not gonna
So,
talk
yeah.
about it. We're not gonna talk about the direct, okay?
Mm.
Oh shit.
Copyright police are onto us.
Um, no, but you know, a lot of people speculate on what they're gonna show, and uh, for me, I guess I'm getting kind of jaded, and I think it's gonna just be a bunch of nonsense. It's gonna show us a bunch of shit we already know, and then they're gonna show us like, oh, and here's Zelda Breath of the Wild, and it's a bunch of scenes and shit that we already seen, and then it's like, the new name is Breath of the Wild 2, going back
Whoa.
to the past or something like that, you know, like some weird shit, and that's all it's gonna be, and that's gonna be the big ending, but
I never actually played Breath of the Wild. I saw the gameplay, and it just doesn't look like a real Zelda game to me.
oh,
Looks way too different.
it's a really fun game. It's I would say the only thing I would hope they change is the fact that they offer restaurants in there, because
Mm.
not that I don't like the aspect of gathering the items to cook food and stuff. Um, it gets annoying real fast. Like, I should be able to go into a town and there's a place that's already serving some of these meals that I can just purchase. You know, they already sell
Mm.
the parts to make it. I don't want to have to go through and fucking make it. That's a waste of time. You know.
No,
Um,
I saw the gameplay, and it didn't give me the Zelda feel. Like, I'm sure it's a good game. It just when it's not what I have in my head of what a Zelda game
oh well,
looks like.
well the other thing too is there's no dungeons.
That's kind of it,
They
right?
have shrines where, you know, it's some of them are, a lot of them are puzzles, some of them are you got to defeat a enemy or something like that, but yeah, there's no proper dungeons like a Zelda, and
Like,
that's what they're hoping is going to be in the second one, but it's like,
even Majora's Mask, it only had 4, but it still had dungeons
yeah.
in it. It's like they were like less important. There was more focus on the side missions, but they were still part of the game, because you can't, in my head, have a Zelda game that has no dungeons. That just doesn't sit right in my brain.
Yeah, it goes back to the original game where the key places where you got Triforce pieces were dungeons.
Yeah, it was the whole point.
Yes.
You got to find the dungeons, you know, find them.
Yeah, in the first one, just finding the dungeons is insanely hard. Like, you got to burn random bushes, and then there's just a staircase going down to the dungeon.
Hey, and I know a lot of people poo-poo it, but the second one also had the same type of thing. You had to go into the middle of a graveyard and stand on a specific grave and play a flute just to open the fucking dungeon, you know?
I am gonna say Zelda as a series didn't get good until A Link to the Past. The first 2 I didn't like at all. Zelda
so
3
where's the boot
is where it
button
got good.
on this thing? How do we airbag Terry out of this? Get out of here!
Zelda-
Wait, well, I
Zelda-
get you. You said Link to the Past.
Zelda 3 was the first good one, and it's
Yeah.
one of the best. It's like,
It is.
And then what is it? Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask were both great. I know a lot of people iffy on Majora's Mask because it's so focused on side missions, but no, I actually like it quite a lot. And then from there, it's kind of I fell off Zelda a bit. They weren't as good.
Well, you guys might find this a bit shocking, but the only Zelda game I have ever played was the absolute first one.
Oh, okay.
I love the first one. Yeah, I like. I don't know. I like all of them except I haven't really played some of the DS and the like the Four Sword Adventure stuff, or and you know, I'm really not a big fan of Majora's Mask. uh, but yeah, no. I did like Breath of the Wild. I just think they should have put some fucking dungeons in there. Other than
Mm.
that,
It, for me, Breath of the Wild looked too open world. Like the old Zelda games have the illusion of being open world, but there's really a very set order that you have to do things in. Like you can't just do the fifth dungeon because you want to. There is a set order
oh
in
yeah,
how
well,
you
especially with
deal with
especially
it.
the Super Nintendo one where there's areas where you couldn't even get to unless you had a specific item.
Yeah, that you got from the dungeons.
Yeah, so I mean, um, I don't I don't know if there's anything like that in Breath of the Wild now that I think about it. I think there's some areas where it's like if you don't have proper armor, like the cold areas, you might not be able to last very long, or even the volcano areas. Um, but other than that, I don't think there's anything that's really holding you off
I think,
from exploring the
yeah,
area.
Zelda should be more of a Metroidvania than an open world. It should be access to the map is gated by items, and you get those items by, well, in Zelda completing the dungeon, or in Metroid just finding them. But the point is, you start off with a small part of the map that you can access, and as you progress, that expands. That is what Zelda
Oh,
is
well, hold
really meant
on.
to be.
Have you tried Link Between Worlds,
I think so.
the
Is that the
3DS
one where
one?
you can rent items?
Yeah. What did you think of the renting
Yeah, that
items?
was dumb.
I did not like that at all. I actually I opened up my because I lost my 3DS charger a long time ago, and then when we got back from our camping trip, Quiz had a 3DS charger, and I'm like, oh dude, let me charge my 3DS. So I charged my 3DS to full battery, and then I was going through updating everything and re-downloading shit that I needed to, and I was going through the games and went through my Link Between Worlds game, and I completely forgot about the renting shit. And I'm like, oh no.
Do you know what the biggest problem with the renting thing was? I get what they were going for. They wanted it to be you reach like a big pit with like a pole on the other side. You think, oh, I need the hook shot. I'm going to go rent the hook shot. What actually happens is you rent every single item all at once, and it's basically just a death tax that when you die, you've got to go pay to rent all the items again. It just didn't work the way I think they had intended.
Wait, if you die, you had to pay for them?
Yeah, if you died, you lost all the. You had to return all the rented items, basically.
Oh, I
And
didn't
so
know
you
that.
had to rent them again.
I have not died yet. Because I still have a bunch of. I have like half of them paid for, and half of them are still rented. And I'm sitting there, I'm looking at
Hmm.
the pricing to pay for it to purchase it, and I'm like, I mean, I still have them, so why even buy them? You know?
Hmm. Yeah, in the end, it was just basically a death tax. It's like you die, and then say, okay, now I've got to spend, 7,500, however many it ends up being, rupees re-renting all the items again. That's all it ended up doing,
Oof.
and it completely broke the flow of the game because you had access to the entire map.
Yeah,
If
no,
you were
yeah,
willing to rent the
that was the
item.
other thing is you pretty much opened everything up right away because you have everything,
Yeah, exactly.
everything.
No.
Ugh.
The original formula was right. You should have a very small map, and then you do the first dungeon, you get the boots that you run into things, and that opens up a new area for you to explore. That's the way Zelda is supposed to function.
What I liked about the original Zelda was that when the NES Max and the NES Advantage game controllers were released, I could now do Link's sword with rapid stabby motion
Yeah.
because it was on turbo.
Mhm.
Turbo
So
Task.
he would just he'd be like on turbo shank mode all the time. Just be
I think it
walking
was the
around.
first game. I think it was the first game where in Japan there was a voice activated component, and
Yeah.
one of the enemies you could kill by shouting into the microphone. And
Mhm.
because that functionality was not copied over into the Western release, those enemies became so much harder to deal with because you couldn't kill them.
Right. It was what was it, the bats?
I forget which one it was.
It was something like that, and you would
Yeah.
the Famicom controllers actually had microphones built into them,
Yes.
so you could give it voice commands, and
You could scare this enemy away, and yeah, it made things so much easier because they just either died or they flew away or whatever. But like in the Western release, no microphone. You've got to kill them or avoid them.
yeah. And what sucks is that it took how many 25 years before North America got another Nintendo device that had a microphone in it
Yeah.
with the DS Lite.
Mm.
Which might I add, the DS Lite still does not believe that I can actually say the word blue. It was Brain Games or something like that. There was this exercise
Oh, I
that you could
remember
do
that. Yeah.
where you said the word, not the color of the word, but you said
Yeah.
the word. Then it would ask you to say the color, not the word. The coloring is coloring.
Yes.
And it never would recognize that I was pronouncing blue. So I'd always lose.
Did you try saying brew?
No.
Oh, there you go. It's Japanese. You've got to speak the language.
Okay.
I knew Terry was going there.
Yeah.
I fucking knew it.
Hmm.
It's blue. Blue.
Oh boy.
One thing I hated about that microphone was I forget which Ace Attorney game. You actually had to like sprinkle the fingerprint dust and then blow on the microphone to clear it off, and that was the most annoying part of that game.
Was it Ace Attorney?
I don't know if it was like Dual Destinies or whatever,
Or
whichever one it
Wario.
was.
The Wario stuff. WarioWare.
Hmm.
Was it that game?
No. It was Ace Attorney. It was one of the Phoenix Wright games.
Oh, really? Oh, shit.
Yeah. So you had to tap the screen to sprinkle like dust over the fingerprint, and then you had to blow into the microphone to make the dust go away. And yeah, that was torture. That was the worst thing because it didn't respond very well at all.
In particular, if you're playing the game with a cold.
Yeah, that would make things even worse.
Oh, shit.
So,
Well, while we're on the subject of Nintendo, because there was another topic I wanted to bring up, just as a, oh shit, what are we going to talk about? Excuse me. But with the Nintendo Direct, another Twitter, I don't know, what do they call it, news feed or headline or whatever the fuck it is, was popped up was Mario movie, and I'm like, oh shit, are they gonna show maybe some footage, like a teaser for the Mario movie? And I brought it up in my arcade channel, which I still gotta fucking fix the Discord link. Let me know if you want to join my arcade. I'll send you a link.
what is your Discord? Is it like just like playing games with each other, or is it talking about games? Like, what do you do?
We pretty much just hang out and play games. I try and get a regular schedule type thing going where we play random stuff, but so far it's been a lot of fighters.
Well then I'll have to join.
But yeah, it's really just a place to come hang out and play and talk video games. I try not to talk politics there, so.
I don't use Discord much, but I do like the sound of this this thing you set up. So if you send me the fixed link, I'll join up.
Yeah, and like I said, I gotta fix the link that's in the description.
I just clicked on it and it's expired.
Yeah, well, come on, I'm Eagle Balls Adam, so.
Looks like we have a K-Shul in the chat. Hey K-Shul, And we got
and,
this
Eddie.
we got this shifty character named Adam. I don't know who this Adam guy is.
Whoa.
He's in our chat, man. So I don't know. Does anybody know who this Adam guy is?
Yeah, he sounds a bit dodgy. Better ban him.
Somebody with a wrench. You know what? You know what to do.
How's it going, Eddie?
But this Mario movie, I talked about in the my arcade thing. As somebody brought it up. Oh yeah, and Jack Black is gonna be Bowser. And I'm like, oh fuck!
What?
I forgot about the voice casting for this movie.
Isn't Star-Lord Mario?
Yeah. Chris Pratt is
No,
Mario.
no. Bob Hoskins is Mario.
Well, Bob Hoskins
Mario,
is also pushing daisies at this moment, so I don't know. And Jack Black is Bowser. And
So is it animated or live action?
no, it's a CG. I think it's the same. It's the studio who did Minions. I think
Right.
Imagine Studios,
Okay.
Imagery Studio. I can't remember the name. And then the one that really got me was fucking Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong. I'm sitting there because like the
Can
dude.
you imagine if they got a black guy to play Donkey Kong though? That would have been fun.
Well, hold on. I'm just because they were the person in chat was saying, yeah, you know, Jack Black's gonna carry the movie, and to a degree he is, because he's probably gonna be the only one that people are maybe Chris Pratt. I don't know how he's gonna do as Mario. I can't remember who they got as Luigi, but
John Leguizamo.
oh yeah, well, it couldn't be worse than that, right? But Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong, I'm just sitting there like, dude, it's just gonna be Seth Rogen.
Yeah, it's
Donkey
always just Seth Rogen.
And the same thing with Jack Black. Like, he's a good character, but Jack Black plays Jack Black. That's like,
Yeah.
hey, we got Norm Macdonald to play as Bowser. Well, no, you got Norm Macdonald, and you're gonna want us to believe that it's Bowser, but it's Norm Macdonald.
Yeah, it's
like no offense to Jack Black or Seth Rogen. Well, Seth Rogen, fuck Seth Rogen, but Jack Black,
Yeah.
I love Jack Black. But all I'm seeing is it's gonna be Bowser. He's gonna be whiny and bitchy, in a high pitched voice, and then eventually, sometimes he's gonna start singing. Eventually, like.
No, the thing is, Jack Black is a character actor. He has one character that he can play.
He was
And
Jack
that is-
Black in the Nasties in Neverending Story 3.
Yeah, like, no,
Yeah,
he's got
he's
one
been
character
doing-
that he can play. He can play it very well.
He's been doing Jack Black since like forever.
Yeah. I mean, he played the same character in Brutal Legend. Was it called the video
He's
game?
He's even Jack Black when he's just playing like a bit character, like in Cable Guy or
Yeah.
Enemy of the State or
Yo, yeah. Even when he's just a side character, he's still Jack Black.
yeah.
But I'm gonna say there's nothing wrong with that.
No, but
But
he's
as
not
long
Bowser. How do you?
No, that's it. No, there's nothing wrong with only having one character that you play. The studio just has to make sure that that character fits the movie, and
Yeah.
it doesn't in this case.
No,
It's like every now and again it's like the casting director and the director and the producer and the writer. It's like, wait, what this movie really needs, and what seems to be just, we need a Jack Black.
we need star power.
Right.
Hey, Jack Black. He was good in Kung Fu Panda, right? Yeah, he'll do good in this. He knows how to do voice acting. It's like, well, no, Kung Fu Panda was just a fucking Kung Fu Panda Jack Black.
Yeah, it was.
That's the thing.
Yeah,
like,
it was
his
a
character
great.
suited that role.
Yeah, Poe needed to be Jack Black, so they got Jack Black, and Jack Black was Jack Black very well as a panda. that did kung fu.
It's like you know what you're getting, and so it's really on the studio for miscasting him. It's like he's not secretive about who he is. He's like he has one character, he plays it very well. Is that the character you want for your Bowser? It shouldn't be.
Hold on. Here's one last extension of his acting prowess. Fucking Nacho Libre.
I forgot all about that.
Have you seen that?
No, I haven't.
I own that on DVD.
Like, I love that movie. But just
Did you think it was
that
food? Is that why you bought it 6?
Huh?
Huh?
Did you think it was food? Is that why you bought it 6?
It's I just that's gonna be Bowser. Congratulations.
Yeah.
You know, they're like, we need big names to run this movie, and we got.
Yeah,
We
well,
need
that's the
something. We need something akin to a Nacho Libre or a Kung Fu Panda. Who's out there that can do that? That's Jack Black.
I would have.
Okay,
I would have gone for Tim Curry. They should have just gone for Tim Curry.
Tim Curry is awesome.
Yeah, definitely. I would have taken a Tim Curry Bowser over a Jack Black. Oh my god.
It's amazing how much Tim Curry's actually done. It's like if you look into his like discography, he's done a lot.
Oh yeah.
He was the villain Logain in Dragon Age Origins.
Is he really?
He was the bad guy in Fern Gully.
Yeah.
He
Oh,
was.
yeah.
He was the main character in the first Gabriel Knight game.
I loved him in Home Alone too.
And he was the
Yeah,
dad
yeah,
in
another one.
the wild thornberries.
Oh
Yeah,
shit.
no, he's a fantastic actor. I really like
Does that
Tim
mean
Curry.
do you think he did the voice acting for the character in the fighting game? Because wasn't there a fighting game with that character in it?
Not familiar with that.
Would be the Nickelodeon All Star Brawl had him in it, and from my understanding, that game didn't have voices.
Oh,
There was no voice casting to do.
nice job, Nickelodeon.
Well, that's actually why the game failed. Is that no one liked the fact that they were fighting more or less in silence.
They
There's
couldn't. They couldn't even pull voices from the show. Wow.
I don't think they were allowed to, or whatever the reason they didn't. I think they
Residuals,
might-
essentially.
That
If
They
they
might
had
have-
used the voice, even the voice clips from, there would be some residuals they would have to pay.
Yeah, but I think they did patch in voices. Like, I don't think they were true to the cartoons. I think they were just like some guy in the studio recording.
it's all Dave
you know,
Coulier still going out there trying
Yeah.
to do his voice.
I think they did eventually patch in voices so that like, when you do a move, you can actually hear them say something. But much too late. People had already moved on to another game by the time they got around to doing that.
Oh yeah, definitely. Wow.
Yeah, Tim Curry he's one of those guys that from what I understand is that one of his first acting jobs, he actually lied to the director that he had a lot more experience than he actually did, but they were so impressed with his performance, they filled out his it's some kind of union. I forget what the name of the union, but it was, he didn't have a membership in that particular union, which you needed to have in order to. So they took the trouble to sign him up after that themselves, because they were so impressed with his performance in this. I believe it was some kind of stage production. So he pretty much bullshitted his way into that role, into that production.
Oh hey,
Yeah.
isn't that what they say? Fake it until you make it, or something like that?
Pretty much. Hey, we got Cynic. Hey, Cynic. So yeah, I have a lot of respect for Tim Curry. One of my favorite roles that he's ever played was in that Lethal Weapon spoof with Emilio Estevez and Samuel L. Jackson.
Oh, Hot Shots?
No. Loaded Weapon. Loaded Weapon.
Oh,
was
yeah, I know the one.
I haven't
he
seen
played
that in a long while.
he played like the Summerland girls. It was like he was a professional hitman, and he did a lot of disguises, and one of his disguises was like a Girl Scout knockoff, like the Summerland girls or something like that. He showed up in this Girl Scout outfit, honking cookies, as a premise to knock somebody off. And yeah, that was guy had range and still does. And even though he doesn't do like on camera stuff anymore, he still does really great voice acting.
I just like the Wing Commander. He's like, I'm gonna go to the one place that hasn't been corrupted by capitalism, space.
No, that was Command and Conquer Red Alert. I was just thinking
Oh,
about that. I
right.
was like, yeah, the reason he's not doing many camera shots is because he's in space. Tim Curry. What a legend.
He was in a movie called Legend.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. And he was the
He
devil.
played Darkness.
He was in Brutal Legend.
Oh yeah.
He was,
Wait,
the
wasn't
Viking.
wasn't there a unicorn in Legend?
There was a unicorn in Legend.
See, I keep getting that mixed up with The Last Unicorn, which I think was a cartoon. And I think
Yeah.
I remember seeing like parts of that, but I remember seeing The Legend, and I'm like, oh yeah, I remember The Last Unicorn had the giant devil guy in it, right? No.
It was a giant bull. It was a giant bull thing.
Yeah.
And I had seen that. My dad took me to see that in the theater when it was doing its North American run, and I remember that was some scary shit. That gigantic bull that. So this kind of a spoiler alert, but a lot of the movie, the unicorn is disguised as a young girl. Yeah, there's a spell that turns her into a young girl, and that's how she's able to sneak past a lot of the evil guys' machinations. But ultimately, that facade fails, and the unicorn then has to face the wrath of the big bad. So I really don't want to spoil it. It's a really nice movie if anybody wants to watch. It's called The Last Unicorn, 1981, 82, something like that.
Wait.
Long time ago.
Last Unicorn or Legend?
Oh, Legend was more like 86, 87, something like that. That was with Tom Cruise. What's her face from Ferris Bueller?
Jennifer Grey.
Oh shit, she was in that.
No, it's the other actress, so the one that actually is dating
Simone or
Ferris Bueller. Yeah, Simone. I can't remember the name. I can't remember her name.
I just remember her eyes. For some reason, for a long time growing up, I thought she would play an Aerith. I don't know why.
Yeah. So Jennifer Grey played Ferris Bueller's sister.
Yeah.
And an interesting factoid about that movie is that Matthew Broderick and Jennifer Grey were kind of dating while they were making that movie.
That's not creepy at all.
Hey, did you
So,
hear
yeah.
that they're making a spin-off movie about the two characters who drove the car while they were out?
Yeah. And I never would have thought that would have been possible, but given what they've done in Ant-Man and various other projects of digitally de-aging people, it may be possible for them to pull off somewhat credibly a younger Matthew Broderick by using current Matthew Broderick.
I think that would just look weird.
Yeah, it could look very weird, or it could look kind of awesome because they did a very good job with Michael Douglas in the first Ant-Man movie,
Okay.
with digitally de-aging him by using the movie Wall Street as they just got a copy of Wall Street and did digital frames using
Okay.
Michael Douglas's face. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. They kind of use that as the base to work towards, and
Hold on, I don't know. This is a good segue into. Have you guys seen the trailer for Hocus Pocus 2?
I have not.
I hope that's digital face, because oh my god, the Sanderson sisters do not look good. Something serious, like from least to worst. I have to say it's the Sister Act lady, the bigger one, then Bette Midler, and then poor God, what happened to Sarah Jessica Parker?
So that would be Najimy. What was? Yeah.
Oh my god, something happened. She looks really bad. I hope it was just the buffer rate of the film, or the shot that I was watching on the phone. You know, I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt there, because oh my god. But yeah, it looks like it's a reboot. Some I was seeing some comments on saying it was supposed to be a sequel, but I don't see how it could be, considering
because
the spirit of the cat, whoever that guy was, he goes off with his sister at the end.
Mm-hmm.
So the whole story's done.
And all the kids that were in that movie are in their 40s now.
Yeah.
just de-age them. Just de-age them.
Digitally de-height them as well.
I think the little girl was dating Limp Bizkit at some point. So I mean, I don't know.
For girl and guy, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, I don't see how it's a sequel. It's a reboot. Because from the trailer, it looked like it had all the same markings. You know, they came back, they get their new brooms, and instead of a vacuum, it's a Roomba, and it looks like they're about to sing to people and have them all dance, and then yeah,
I didn't hate the first one, but I hope that they don't try to retread on too many of the old jokes.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah,
there's,
no, yeah,
you
because
know,
they go,
You
we
know
need
they
to
will.
use salt, and they put salt around them. Or they say something like, what is salt going to do? And then I think because they misinterpreted it, I don't know, I only saw it. But they put a circle of salt around them, and not only is it they can't go past the salt, but they try and shoot them, and there's like a force field around them. So salt has force field powers.
interesting.
Yeah.
I remember zero things about the first movie.
The first one was okay.
Other than the actresses who played the main roles, I don't know anything that happened in the movie though.
It was a fun. It was at a time when you can make a goofy movie, and it just was fun.
I think they already made a
watch.
goofy movie.
Well, okay, well, not extreme. Okay, let's just reel it back here. Okay, we're talking
You
about.
can make a dumb popcorn flick.
Yeah, you know,
Yes.
and you can just watch it. It was fun. Oh man, Halloween's coming up. Let's pop it in and watch it. You know, but now it's like it's so
How much?
weird.
Yeah, how much lecturing are you willing to
Yeah.
to put up with on
None.
that particular night.
None.
Okay, we got a choice of movies here. How much lecturing do you guys want to sit
Well,
through?
not even that, but even I don't like when they have to explain retarded shit. And yeah, like that started around Superman when they were like, I can't believe that Superman would just toss him through all these buildings, all these people who are dying recklessly, and then we got a whole plot of the Avengers being, hey, even though you guys are saving the world, random people are dying just happenstance. We can't have this. It's like, are you fucking kidding me? What in the fuck are we doing?
There's almost zero tactical precedence there with an alien invasion jumping out of a hole in the middle of the sky. Exactly what sort of plan do you think they would have already had in place to keep everybody alive? No, that's not how. That's not how these things work.
That's just how you get the goofy parts where it's like in Age of Ultron, where all of a sudden you get whole shots of, hey, no, yeah, come over here to the safety. It's like, I can understand that some parts so that we don't get an over exaggerated like endgame type thing where it's like two sides fighting each other like Lord of the Rings type shit. Or it doesn't make sense either. But I mean, not the Lord of the Rings, but the endgame shit. But it's like, yo, do you guys understand? You are getting to the point where you're trying to click beats and not even make sense as to how it got there. Whereas before, you didn't even care how it made sense. You just made a good movie. You made a movie that was fun to watch. You know?
If it was done well, you wouldn't give a shit.
No, you wouldn't care. It's like when you're sitting there watching the first Hocus Pocus.
Suspension disbelief.
Yeah,
you just had fun. You ate your popcorn. You drank your soda, and you ate more popcorn as you had more fun. And that's how things used to be.
Hold on. Did you toss your M&Ms in the popcorn? Because then we have a problem.
No. Well, here's an interesting thing. At my local movie theater, we actually had a pickle flavored slushy that you would get those Sour Patch Kids, and you would put the Sour Patch Kids in the in your pickle flavored slushy, and it was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the show for this evening. I'd like to thank everybody. You say
don't knock it till you try it.
A pickle flavored slushy, and you put Sour Patch Kids in them.
Yeah, I'm from South Texas, Corpus Christi area.
Corpus Christi.
I get it. Some cultural differences as far as the as cuisine goes.
No, I'm sure if I showed my dad, or if my dad heard this right now, he'd be like, "Oh hell yeah," and he'd put me on the phone with some family members, and be like, "Yeah, what the fuck? What's wrong with you?"
Yeah. You see, you go to Corpus and you look for the. So not every theater had them, of course, but you would find the ones that did. If I'm recalling correctly, this was many years ago, but it was I believe the Sunrise Mall one had one of those pickle flavored slushes. What other one? It was closed. It was turned into a laser tag thing. Cine 4, if I'm not mistaken. I could be remembering that wrong, but it was Cine 4. They had Cinemark was a big company in Corpus Christi for the longest time. This is before Tinseltown and a lot of the other theaters. There was a Cine 4. There was a Cine 6. The Cine 6, they closed that one down. The last movie that I believe I saw at Cine 6 was The Red Violin, starring Samuel L. Jackson. It's a really underrated. He's really not much in the movies, but it's more a film about the violin instead of Samuel L. Jackson. But he was the big name that they tacked onto it. But yeah, there were a lot of different theaters, and oh, what the hell was that one called? It was the Man Theater. What was another one that they played a lot of kids movies, a lot of Disney movies. If you wanted to go, and they played a lot of like they were like the matinee discount theater. You know, the ones that kept playing a movie even after it's like long after its like initial run. It was like if you wanted to see something like The Rescuers Down Under or Turner or Hooch or something like that, and you wanted to see them like after they pretty much left all the other theaters, you would go to the Man Theater, and that they had a decent selection of snacks. I mean, I judged most theaters by their selections of snacks.
I
If one
think as long as the Man Theater had women jumping on trampolines, that's all.
yeah, they played some like grown up movies, but most the times that I ever went to the Man Theater, it's when they were playing some Disney movie or some other kids movie. I don't recall ever watching like anything.
There's Adam Carolla, Jimmy Kimmel, Ziggy Zaggy, oi oi oi.
I don't think I watched anything like over a PG at the Man Theater.
No, yeah, we had something like that out by us, and more often than not, because we called it the Dollar Theater, so because
Yeah.
it was a lot cheaper. We still have
Yeah.
something kind of like that in a couple of towns over, where they show movies that have been out longer or like past their date, but they show it there for like $5. Sometimes you can get a double feature for like $7-8.
Yeah, for $5 you'd get a ticket and just and the snacks were cheap too, so you could take all your buddies. You'd hop into the what are those vehicles called, the long vehicles, the station wagon. You'd hop into the station wagon with all your buddies and drive you over there and leave you at the theater for a couple of hours and come back and just had grand old time. Those were the days, man. Those were the days when you just go in, you get a couple of buckets of popcorn and just stupid out for about 2.5 hours, and that was lovely. It was lovely. Nobody was losing their mind over anything, and there was no lecturing, there was no coding, there was no all this other bull crap that you now have to sit through. There was no preaching, there was nothing like that. At least there may have been some of that, but the way that it was done was less condescending, more tasteful,
Right.
and actually worked with the story and the characters instead of feeling like some shoehorned garbage that just drags everything down and makes itself the focal point. It's like, no, you just want to get a bucket of popcorn with your buddies and stoop it out for like 2 hours. That's what you want to do. And that is what's missing from the experience. That is what's missing, man. And so many of the young people now, they don't know, they don't have a frame of reference because they don't know what that is.
Right.
To be able to do that.
Um,
It's sad. It is sad.
Two things pop to mind. Let me try and get them out quickly, so I don't sit here and dawdle too much. But the first thing is, it reminds me of if you look up on YouTube, look up Patrice O'Neill talking about Independence Day and how he really liked the movie and how it's fantastic. But as they pick it apart, they find out that all the characters are like super exaggerated stereotype characters. And it just reminds me of Independence Day was one of those movies. I still watch it. It's free on YouTube, free with ads. I was watching it the other day, and even though I'm seeing all the, the exaggerated people, I'm still enjoying the movie because it was one of those.
Yeah.
I'm turning my mind off to enjoy a fucking action flick with aliens and shit, and people come together and let's take these sons of bitches down. Like, that's fun. But you can also
Summer of
you could also see where that viewpoint is. It's an extreme, and then you can see the people who would want to tell you, hey, well, you shouldn't like it, and if you like it and you enjoy it, it's because you're closeted racist or Nazi or some bullshit. It can't be because you just enjoy the goofy fucking aliens are attacking Earth.
Right.
I
saw that. Yeah, I saw that in the theaters on July 2nd, 1996 at the Cine 6 Theater in Corpus Christi.
Yo.
And they're originally going to release it on the 4th of July, but I guess they thought better of it. So, we'll release it 2 days earlier. So, and that was 1996 had a wonderful summer slate as far as movies went. Another good one that summer, of course, was Mission Impossible. They had Twister. Yeah, there's just a lot of these really great movies that you got to have a healthy amount of suspension of disbelief.
Yeah, you just want to see a fun to watch movie. You don't want to have to sit there and there's historical inaccuracies and blah blah blah. But
I think it would be funny to get one of these woke people to watch one of these movies and have them try and figure out what the political message of the movie is.
Oh shit!
Yeah. This is I'm sensing. I'm not sensing any preaching. There should be preaching here. There should be lecturing here. Where's the coding? There's no coding. What is this?
Well, no.
No, but they'd find coding and messaging that wasn't actually there. They just say, no, this must mean, and then they fill in their own bullshit.
To be honest, in Independence,
the cops are onto us again. We're getting too close to the truth.
They know too much.
They know too much.
But for Independence Day, I mean, I guess you can kind of make it save the planet, because that was kind of Jeff Goldblum's end of the hey, I always want to save the planet, here's my chance type of thing. And it was why are we gonna nuke the planet? We should be trying to save it if they're just gonna take it. Well, whatever, you can try and you can levy it, but they didn't. That's one of those things where you can brush it off very easily.
Yeah, it was all any kind of sort of like little preachy or little lectury stuff. It was in throwaway lines and throwaway gags that you would just essentially gloss over, and then you get back to the dumb action. And that's the way it was done. And that's in what they have done. They've retooled it. So you can't just skip through it like some ads on YouTube. You have to sit there and watch the damn thing, and that's essentially what it's like anymore. Is that you can't shut your mind off for the split second that this throwaway line is being uttered on screen. It forces you to watch the entire film. You can't just click by and in your mind and get back to this, that, or the other. No, it's they want us to stamp their foot down like it's a freaking deaf poetry jam and slam poetry. Their way into the frontal cortex with the message, and so on and so on and so forth. And it's so tiring. It's so tedious. And
well, that brings me to the second thing I wanted to talk about. Scribe Light. I don't know if anybody knows this gentleman, but does some fantastic
Never
work
heard
over
of
there on the YouTube, right? He had posted, because I guess
what
I think
Scribe Light.
I think he spells it with a Z, because he's
okay.
He's a Zen.
Scribe.
Yeah,
But no, that's actually pronounced. It's actually pronounced Zeta.
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 I think he's from one of those Eastern European countries, but
still that uses the Zeta.
Yeah.
Okay.
But he had posted about I guess the Little Mermaid posted a teaser, and of course, you know, the new character and all that. And, first off, my personal opinion, every time I see these types of character changes, it always just reminds me of Broadway or something like that, or it's like you'd expect it to happen, because it's like, yeah, you're actually getting someone who can do a show for a season, you know, as opposed to a movie where it's like, well, it's cash grab, come on, man.
Yeah.
But he posted a thing where it was like, okay, expecting racial attacks or narratives in 3, 2, 1, you know, setting it up. And I'm like, well, yeah, that's where we got. And while we were talking about the popcorn movie seat fillers, we've gotten to the point where now they're gonna do it. They're gonna want to push their bullshit storytelling, but they're gonna code it in a way where if you any criticism, they can immediately say, well, it's because of racism. You obviously don't like it because it's racist. And it's like, no, we're telling you this and this, and that's damn near every fucking series going on now.
Essentially, what it's become is a TED Talk with a narrative veneer.
Yes, that's a good point.
Yeah,
that's a good way to describe it.
And it's sad because we are not allowing ourselves the escapism. We're not allowing ourselves to shut off for 2 hours.
Well, that's very deliberate.
Yeah.
They want sort of to overthrow the system, and the way they do that is by never letting you relax so that you're always on edge, because that makes you more likely to, you know, actually do something. If you can come home after a long day and just relax for a few hours, then all the fighting spirit goes out of you. You're fine. Because if they can keep you anxious and on edge for, you know, weeks and months at a time, you're more likely to, fuck this, we need to do something, rah rah rah, and you'll actually, yeah. That's what they're going for.
They don't like you being able to be selective.
Nope.
This is one of the reasons why Wild West kind of places like YouTube used to be, there wasn't a lot of this mainstream presence the way there is now with the Jimmy Kimmels and the unskippable ads and the so on and so on and so forth. There's becoming a fewer and fewer places to escape the message, the lecturing, the preaching, the TED Talks. They don't want you to be able escape into video games, into role playing, into books, into movies, into television shows, even into social media spaces, video sharing places, so on and so on and so forth. They're systematically closing off every one of these avenues that one can take to just turn off from the static, the noise, the bullshit, the preaching, the lectures. They want to be able to be in every nook and every cranny, to shout at you, to lecture you, and to talk down to you. Because in their eyes, you are the problem, and you need to be re-educated. And you're not allowed to just turn off for 2 hours and enjoy something entertaining with a bucket of popcorn and a buddy. And if you dare to criticize what product they have before you, then you are the problem, and you are given a description, an ist or a phobe or a so on and so on and so forth. And if you dare question their creative licensing choice to alter this or alter that to fit a modern perspective, then you are the problem, and you are the one that needs to be recalibrated. Say, you must be given the lecture. You must be
calibrated.
You must hear the preaching, and you are not allowed to have fun. You are not allowed to escape. You're not allowed to unwind. All this tension that you have there, this tension, you're not allowed to alleviate this tension by watching stupid character do stupid thing for a reason that needs no explanation. It's just stupid. And that popcorn there, it's now going to be made from ground crickets. So
Yes.
Hey, but that's good for the environment, so you gotta think about that. And speaking of which, anybody who's been enjoying this show, here's your daily reminder to live in pods and eat bugs. And what else do we gotta show for the
You'll earn nothing and you'll be happy.
Yep.
Renting is happiness.
No,
absolutely.
No being happy for a little bit. You don't get to unwind.
Don't you dare own physical copies of media.
Nope.
Oh shit, yeah.
DVDs bad. Blu-rays bad.
You wouldn't.
Cartridges bad. CD-ROM bad.
Well, you wouldn't steal a grandma, would you?
It does give them a lot more power to remove the physical media, because if a game is purely digital, they can remove access to it at will. Like
Pretty
once
much.
they've sold it to you, like as a physical disc, you can always just open the console, put that disc in, and play it. Whereas if it's digital only, they can shut down servers, so you can't connect to anything, and the game won't start.
Well, not only that, but they can alter it. I mean, look at some streaming services with video. You know, they've altered the video to update it, quote unquote. And if that's your only source of the film, yeah, but that you're screwed. And same could be said with video games, especially nowadays and growing increasingly. Um, you get a game and you purchase it digitally. Who's to say that they don't start making it so you have to? I mean, they already do. Some of them you have to check online to make sure that you can play it. But who's to say that they don't
That
alter the
actually happened
game?
with Street Fighter Cross Tekken.
Yep.
When I went to play it on Steam, it just said cannot connect to games for Windows Live because that service is defunct. It just tries to connect, can't, and says no, you can't play the game.
Right, and they even with physical copies now, they don't send you the complete game. Like, what was it, Tony Hawk Pro Skater 5? You didn't get the whole game, and if your console was not online, you were screwed. You couldn't play the Tony Hawk. You have to get the DLCs.
No, I remember. I think it was Soul Calibur 4, maybe. Had the Yoda and Darth Vader characters on the disc.
Yeah.
It's just you had to pay to unlock them, but they were physically on the disc that you got sold. All you were paying was for them to remove the restriction. It's like don't even have to download any new code beyond like a couple of kilobytes to remove the line saying this character doesn't exist.
So can I get everybody in chat to just press F for the dearly departed physical copy? Yeah, it's come to a point where I like a physical copy to something. I do have HBO Max. I do watch movies on HBO Max. But the thing is, if I really support a film, I will buy the physical copy of it, the Blu-ray or the DVD. In a way, you have sort of a two-tier system that is popping up. Insofar as movies that are truly worth your time and money are the ones you're going to invest in a physical copy, at least in my mind. Other films are like, I didn't even bother seeing it in theaters and blah blah, so on and so forth. I got about 2 hours here to kill, so I'll just click on the old HBO Max and watch it on the old HBO Max. And that's kind of how things are. And so I don't even watch regular TV anymore. I haven't in years.
I haven't watched it in years.
And you have series like Cobra Kai, which I do hop in and just get like a temporary sort of Netflix account just to watch that one show, because I don't care about so much of their other programming. I don't care about it. I just don't care. And a lot of it's just quality of Netflix original programming that as soon as they had produced like the last of the Marvel series, I was like, yeah, I'm not so much incentivized to have a regular Netflix account anymore. And then they started adding all these really creepy things like and all this other preachy garbage. And it's like, there's a reason why there's a meme on the internet about the Netflix version being such a downgrade,
and also being black. Like all the ginger characters were just black now.
Well, hold on, and you just gotta keep in mind, one of the nice things that came out of the whole Kevin Smith, He-Man, Masters of the Universe stuff, was a nice tell. Was he told Kevin, or the higher ups told Kevin, it doesn't matter if they don't like the decisions that you're making with this show. They're already subscribed. We already have their money.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
that's
pretty
that's
much.
it.
It's like the second window at McDonald's. Is when you're going to pick up your food. It's like it doesn't matter because they already have your money.
But I would say that that's short-sighted of the Netflix people, because sure, you've got their money this month. If you piss them off and they cancel,
You don't have their money next month.
Well, hold on.
exactly.
But they took that gamble, and multiple times there was not enough people dipping out.
No, I
next month
agree.
To,
I'm
for
just
them.
saying
They
that,
did eventually,
uh,
though. That's why now
yeah,
they're
but
doing.
the line of thinking is flawed, is my point.
Oh yeah, well
You
yeah.
can say, we've already got your money, we can do whatever we want. You've got this month's money, but if I say, fuck this shitty service, I'm out, you don't have next month's, or the month after, or the month after. So you're burning bridges unnecessarily if you piss off your customer base just because they've already paid this month.
Well, that's
And
why.
you know
That's why
what?
I'm the belief. Because wasn't it Netflix that started closing down a lot of the animation studios? I
think so.
I
I
think
can't
it was
remember.
either Netflix or HBO. Uh, there was a streaming service that started closing down a bunch of the shit that they were doing, and that could be it. You know, like, oh shit, they ran out of money. However, I would say that a lot of the people who would have sparked this flame to get this ball rolling, they've already been paid. So even them, they don't give a shit.
Fair
It's
enough.
like the BLM people.
Yeah, there's
like they
there's
have
so
their
so much lack of incentive to give a shit
yeah.
because
I got mine. So what the fuck do I care about you? Like the fuck,
right.
you know?
Well, here's the thing, and I hate to break it to Kevin Smith, but I own physical copies of the original He-Man series.
Ooh.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Wait.
And I didn't own copies of the original He-Man series until the writing was on the wall that it's going to be a preachy affair. So it's like, oh no, right? It's
I
okay.
wonder if that was the plan.
If it's going to be that way, then I will purposely hunt up.
No,
the,
but I wonder if that was the plan. I wonder if this entire shitty remake is just marketing for the DVDs of the old series. They're like,
Well,
oh,
the
oh,
plan
man,
worked because they got my money.
that's what I'm saying. It's like, you know, the whole thing is just, oh man, He-Man sure sucks right now. Imagine if you owned the original series, available for $29.99 at your nearest retailer.
It wasn't 29. Let me see how much it actually was.
Are you talking about the original Funimation stuff?
Yeah, the old cartoon from the 1980s. I bought the complete original series. So last year, so it would have been 2021.
I'm convinced that is what was happening with Faulty Towers, where they made up a whole non-controversy because the N word is mentioned in one episode of Faulty Towers. They're like, oh well, we're gonna change all the digital versions to not have that episode, which means if you do want that episode, you know what you need to buy.
No. Oh shit! Yeah, no, that's what I was gonna say about the whole Little Mermaid thing. Is it's like
so
like
what
extra
price
trap.
did you say? What you said?
I just made up $29.99.
It was actually $32.96 was the
there you
price
go.
that I paid for it.
But no, this Little Mermaid thing is like a special trap where it'll get you if it's, you know, if it does good, then it'll say, see, we should continue doing what we're doing because people like it and they'll support it. But if it doesn't do well, it's because there's a whole bunch of racists and bigots and phobes and ists and whatever, and it's a way to progress their own shit as long as they can, I guess, until the money runs dry. Um, while the same end trying to have cover. It's weird. It's really weird.
Yeah, they're using diversity as a shield. So if it doesn't perform, they can say, those bastards, them and their bigoted opinions, they can't stand to see black women in this industry, which is nonsense. They didn't watch because it was garbage, and you kind of made it clear that it was garbage.
Yeah.
But they've got that excuse now.
Yeah, it's not what they're shouting from the rooftops, and what people hear is what they're shouting from the rooftops, and that's the first exposure to the situation, to the matter that most people have. So that really does color the way they see things from then on out. And it takes.
I just want to give diversity points to 6 for using the word color there.
Whoa! Hold on. Did you use the proper colored? Did you use a U in there? So,
I would hope so.
Whoa.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. The Spanish word is the Spanish word is colores, which has no U. It has, but it has an S, colores. But it's plural. Color, of course, is which should not be confused with calor, which is a completely different word.
I don't know, man. I don't speak Spanish.
Oh,
Me neither.
Yeah.
It's a fun language. It's a very narrative language.
Yeah. Maybe it should be wider.
Anyhow, so yeah, it colors their opinion from the get-go, and it forces people that had made the original, pointing out the original flaws in the product, to have to defend themselves, because they don't have quite the same platform as the ones shouting from the rooftops. They don't have the rooftops. They have the street corners that they now then have to defend their position from in the eyes of those that heard the rooftop shouting people.
Well,
and it's a system that is essentially stacked against anyone on the street corners.
Oh yeah, and we definitely see instances of it in things like She-Hulk, where it's like the writers are just so.
It's a lot of self-insert, a lot of wine ant humor, and the thing is, if you don't have 50 cats and drink White Claw like it's water, you're probably not going to really truly enjoy this series, because the humor isn't geared towards a general audience. It's geared towards who the writers are, and if you look to see who the writers are, who the directors are, they are the White Claw binging wine ants with the box wine mentality and the twerking with Megan Thee Stallion kind of humor. Those are the jokes that land with them.
Yeah.
And really only with them. And that's what makes a lot of this series so cringy, because these are the types of people that will, with their index finger waving this way and that, lecture and preach, because that's who they are. That's how they operate. That's their modus operandi, you know. And the thing is, I was a fan of She-Hulk. I mean, I often joke with Weibo. She kind of has a girl crush on Nightwing from the DC universe, and She-Hulk was my boy crush.
All I
when
heard
I
from
was
there was
growing
that
up,
Weebo likes dick.
and I like big green
Mhm.
boobies.
As everyone should.
I'm pulling a Captain Kirk there with the green girl. Yeah, she was my comic book heroine crush, um, back in the day, because I loved her attitude. I loved I loved the fourth wall breaking. I loved all of that. That was like this was years before Deadpool, and it was like I really love this approach. And the way they've translated this from all that I've seen, have yet to refuse to watch. I don't want
No,
to until they take a drastically different direction with this show,
they
and they may
won't.
be forced to. They may be forced to.
No, they won't. They'll let it die before they stop preaching the message.
But yeah, it's what they've done with that approach is it's just so cringy because they miss a lot of the point of She-Hulk. They they Mary Sue her to the point where all the struggles that she had, all the trials that she had, all the development that she had during her earliest run to even like the early 90s, um, they just brush that aside.
No, the
And
one in the TV show got catcalled. Remember, those
oh
struggles were
oh
there.
the pain, the suffering,
Yes.
sitting and talking to a guy uh, whose love was fell off a cliff and died, and this was after he'd been kidnapped and forced to forced to destroy his enemies for years in a gladiatorial. Oh, this is of course after this, and this is all this. It's like it's like a small child sitting across from a Vietnam veteran lecturing him on how hard it is because of getting a bad grade in math class. That's how it comes across. How condescending
Yeah.
Yeah.
it comes across, and that's what they've used. That's how they translated She-Hulk
I just,
for, I guess.
if that's the case, I hope they don't try and do something with World War Hulk and World Breaking Hulk, because holy shit, they would destroy that character. Yeah, but back to Jen. Jen, that name.
Genty Maxey or Jennifer Walters?
I don't know. Just Jen seems to constantly pop up in my life. But yeah, no, yeah. She-Hulk, I was kind of hoping it would have been a better show, but
I was, and so I did kind of, poke a bit of fun when Weibo was like just going off because of how bad Titans was, and it's like that was something that was near and dear to her when she was growing up was the Teen Titans show, and of course Robin, Nightwing, so on and so on and so on and so forth. And here I am right now watching She-Hulk and Jennifer Walters get much the same treatment. It's like, fuck. It's
oh,
karma. It's karma.
wait, is she
You know,
saying from Teen Titans, the animated series, to Teen Titans Go?
she didn't appreciate Teen Titans Go.
Oh,
But she loved that original 5 season run, and it's a good show
how does she
because
not like Teen Titans Go?
she doesn't like Teen Titans Go because
Well,
it's not done. It's not done quite in the same style as that original show was, and of course that the original show was done in a time where you could kind of stoop it out for half an hour or however long the episodes were, and I kind of get where she's coming from, and just seeing how badly like modern interpretations get things when a good formula is established there in that just if they want to do if they want to do more Teen Titans, just do that because they got it right.
No, yeah.
And
I I like the OG Teen Titans animation. I think Teen Titans Go as a separate thing is goofy.
well, it's kind of its own thing, but
Yeah.
it wasn't something that floated her boat, and that's oh well, okay.
I still don't like
Um,
that. I mean, at least as I recall, didn't they end it on a cliffhanger? Like we still don't know who Red X is, the actual Red X.
from season 5,
Yeah.
yeah, it there was never a season 6 to that show, so they really no resolution there, and it does kind of end on that sort of thing, and unfortunately, that's going to be the same case with Young Justice, which in a lot of ways is kind of like a spiritual successor to the original Teen Titans series. If you want to see a modern interpretation of what Teen Titans should be, you watch like the first maybe 2 or 3 seasons of Young Justice. The last couple of seasons have been sort of they're getting into the preachy, lectury, message, garbage bullshit, and it's kind of a sort of a mixed blessing that the series has been canceled and did sort of kind of leave off on its own cliffhanger. So it's a history repeating itself there, but um, yeah, if you want to watch kind of like what a modern interpretation of Teen Titans should be, it is the first couple of seasons of Young Justice.
Hmm.
But back to the whole She-Hulk thing. It's like I was so hopeful for this to not be a savage cringe fest. Um, but given what they've done with the character in recent years, for a good long while, actually they had supercharged her to such a degree that she was essentially like a Hulk replacement with boobs. There was
In the
there were
recent comics where they
yeah,
bugged her out.
and
Or...
yeah, they super hulked her out, and one of the recent runs, they've since gone back to her kind of sexy stylings of old, but for a long time they had her just this roid raged out um, Hulk replacement with boobs, and so it's not like I was being like purposely naive because I knew that there was a lot of ways they could screw it up because they had screwed it up in a lot of ways uh, already in the comics. So there was a lot of ways that they could have screwed this up, and they are kind of doing that, and they've turned her into little wine ant, finger wagging and preachy, and I haven't seen the episodes with Daredevil yet. And in a lot of ways, I hope that the presence of Daredevil will help the studio see, hey, you know what? Let's do a compare and contrast. We look at uh, the original Daredevil series with Charlie Cox, the first 3 seasons, and we see why people liked that, and we have the same actor playing uh, a similar version of that character in this, and my hope, my shred of hope is that they're at least understand what happens when they put the 2 and 2 together, if not completely fathoming the entire scope of the 2 and 2 being put together, insofar as getting those ideas to rub together enough that they have enough light to see that, hey, you know what, our approach has been very wrong with this, and we need to get rid of these wine ants and get some real writing here.
I think what's even more important is that Adam plays as April O'Neil instead of Donatello.
Wait, what?
You should play as April O'Neil instead of Donatello.
I should play as who?
April O'Neil.
Oh, well, I can't because I'm not a girl, so I can't see myself as that character.
And if Adam did try to play April O'Neil, he would have to be black.
Yeah.
I think Adam's being very transphobic. April O'Neil could be a man. You don't know that she's not.
But I don't know
Yeah,
that she is.
2022, Adam.
Yeah,
Whoa.
men are born in the month of April.
That is true.
So we refer to them as Aries.
Damn. Yeah, maybe I should play as April. And she is a lower level, so it makes sense.
So are you saying you weren't born in April?
No, I was born in October.
October? Okay. So you're what, a Libra?
Yes.
Okay. And Terry, were you born in April?
No, I was not, but my brother and my sister were both born in April, 2 days apart. So, different years, but their birthdays are 2 days apart.
I was not born in April, but yet I could play April O'Neil. Though
I think you should. I think you should buy this game just to play as April O'Neil.
Yes.
I have to call myself May O'Neil.
At least that still works as a name. November doesn't really work as a name.
Nah.
Shit, if we're going with like months and shit, yeah, I'll go with October because
October O'Neil.
Oktoberfest is
I
pretty
think
cool.
April, May, and June are the only months that really work as names.
Yeah. February Davidson is April O'Neil in Turtles in Time, Volume 4.
Turtles in Time was a great game.
Oh
Yeah.
shit.
That was an amazing game.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind getting my hands on one of those arcade one-ups, even though it looks kind of scrunched together. But
have you got the Cowabunga collection? Because it is in the Cowabunga collection if you want Turtles in Time.
Well, you know what? My next paycheck, I think I'm gonna have to pick that Cowabunga collection up.
It's got so many Ninja Turtle games in it. It's got like the one from the NES where everyone got stuck in the second level with all the swimming and seaweed.
Oh, I
Uh,
hated that. I hated that one. I
yeah,
hated
me too.
that stage. That stage sucked ass.
But it's
Because
also got like
because the damn seaweed was electrified, and
yes, and it kills
you
you.
couldn't take too many hits, or you're just like,
And you
I
had to
I
swim around
always
defusing. You had to defuse the bombs within the time
yeah
limit
I
while
always
avoiding the seaweed.
I always lost at least one turtle
Of
doing
course,
that.
everyone did. Um, but it's even got TMNT tournament fighters.
Oh yeah, I see
Which
it
was on the
here.
Super Nintendo.
And it has online play. Fuck.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Cynic says Turtles 2 was his game. Yeah, the Turtles 2 on the NES was essentially a port of the arcade game, the original arcade game, the beat 'em up arcade game where you would spend obscene amounts of quarters just to get to Shredder and Krang.
Yeah,
But
and I remember that game. That's in the collection too.
that's awesome.
There's so many games in that Cowabunga collection. I haven't
Yeah.
bought it yet, but it's definitely on my list.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to pick it up.
The opening title music for the original NES game, I loved so much. Just that driving sort of metal. It was so good. There was a lot of really underrated sort of music from those video games in that era.
Oh yeah,
And
I love video game music. Like, unironically, some of it's really good.
yeah,
They got some
the
bangers.
top four best games for music in the NES period, in my opinion, was Double Dragon, Mega Man, Contra, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
As long as you said Mega Man, I was okay with it. The rest of the list, Mega Man, especially Wily's Castle, Mega Man 2. That is my favorite NES game music.
What? It's all about Napalm Man from Mega Man 5.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I also like Wave Man
Yeah.
and Gyro Man
Gyro
from
Man's pretty good.
I like to think Gyro Man is basically a giant kebab.
So, insofar as music goes, the top three from the classic games would have to be Mega Man 3, Mega Man 2, and Mega Man 9.
Mega Man 9 did have some good music.
Yeah, I've played the first 3 Mega Mans. I haven't played the others.
Mega Man 4 it's okay. It's okay. I think the most chill, it's like the most relaxing Mega Man Robot Master stage themes is probably Mega Man 5. If you just want to kind of like chill out and relax, you play the Mega Man 5 ones.
Yeah, I like Mega Man.
If you want to rock out and stuff like that, that's Mega Man 2, 3, 9.
Oh shit! We got Raph and Leo. Oh, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
See?
No, Mega Man 2 I really enjoyed. That's been my favorite of the 3 so far.
So a lot of it boils down to game mechanics, and I think that's what you were citing on Twitter. Is it
Yes.
the slide is something that it's been an adjustment for you, and I can see it's from a control perspective. The slide was it when you master it, it becomes an amazing asset, but it can become a hindrance if it's not something that you're really used to, and that's why I would recommend Mega Man 9.
2 to 3 was the problem.
Yeah.
Like, if I'd played 2, then done something else, and then played 3 later, I wouldn't have the muscle memory so recently
right
like, ingrained.
And that's of course the way I experienced the transition between Mega Man 2 and 3 was the actual release of the NES. The NES games back in the day, there was quite a bit of time between the release of Mega Man 2 and Mega Man 3, so it wasn't as fresh. So I didn't have
Right.
as much of a shock as far as the control scheme goes. Um, if you like the way Mega Man 2 plays, like I said, you will love the way that Mega Man 9 plays because it has much of the same game mechanics. It does employ that stupid bolt system that I really, the bolt store garbage. I know I don't like that at all.
Mhm.
I didn't like the gradual upgrades that was part of Mega Man X. I know a lot of people they like that kind of stuff because it has sort of more of like an RPG sort of thing,
Right.
where you develop your guy from the beginning, and that's what I didn't like about Mega Man X, and that's really the only reason I only liked that first one, and I didn't really get into the series because of a lot of that sort of RPG aspect, and it's one of the reasons why. And we've talked about this before on Nice Hikes. The difference between San Andreas and Vice City is that Vice City, you don't have to go to the gym or
Right. I,
or
I, I, I could not stand San Andreas. I just hated it. It's the only GTA game I've played that I actively disliked. And it's because of all that shit where like you have to like ride the bike a whole bunch to get better at riding the bike. I was like,
right.
don't do that.
No, nobody wants to do that. They want to go in there and just kick ass. I mean, it kind of depends on how you play the game. If you want to play the game to play the game, then you don't want to just grind. It's not like, I don't know, it's the nearest equivalent. This is really going to date me by saying this, but you don't want to EverQuest grind your way through um,
Right.
getting the power ups
Oh,
and
dude. Did you say
and
EverQuest?
I said EverQuest.
Oh no. See, I thought it was play Raphael for a second, because I heard EverQuest, and I'm like, oh my god, dude, you played EverQuest. Yeah,
I played EverQuest.
that's one of those whole different levels, man.
Yeah. And it's one of the reasons why I don't play online games anymore is because I burned myself out playing EverQuest way back in the day. But yeah,
Yeah,
it's
with San Andreas, my issue was if I fail a mission, did I fail because I, the player, wasn't good enough, or because I, the in-game character, hadn't raised my skills enough? I don't like that. If I'm
right.
playing GTA, I want it to be Tommy does this. Tommy
Based
goes.
on based
Yeah,
on the merit of my skill alone, and not because I aggroed a a yellow or a red mob that that
yeah.
I had considered from the get go to be too much of a task, but I was
Yeah,
confident enough in my gaming skills. But unfortunately, I hadn't leveled up enough to fight those
right.
particular
Right,
mobs,
'cause
and
I
I don't
remember.
have I don't have all the right buffs, and I don't
I
have all the
remember
right
what it
items
was
equipped.
in. Remember what it was in San Andreas. There was this bike mission. I don't remember what I had to do, but like I failed, and it's like, okay, so do I try again, or do I do bunny hops for an hour, level up my bike skill, then try again? Like,
Yeah,
where was the deficiency?
yeah, and it's like, oh, I drowned too fast, but I know how I can improve that. I will I will go to the I'll go to the park
Yeah,
in Roland Heights and jump into that pond and just swim around in circles for the next 3 hours, and then my lung capacity will be
see, the thing is, RPG elements are fine in the right game. It's just GTA is not a game where they fit.
no.
Like, like if I jump in a car and I, lose the speed race. I want it to be because I was driving badly, not because, well, what were you thinking doing this mission with only 3 levels of cornering? That's really
Yeah. Yeah.
that's not the GTA experience.
No,
I
no,
want.
no. It's like training your guy in The Sims. It's like Grand Theft Auto Sims, and that's not the experience. And unless I approached Grand Theft Auto in one of two ways. There is the wow, I just jumped off the building. Anyway, that's that's just saw I jump off a building. That's crazy. Anyway, uh, there's the first way is I want to play the game just to get do the story missions and all this other stuff, and the most character development-y kind of thing that I want to do is search around for weapons that I don't have to pay for, and so on and so on and so forth. The various weapon spawns throughout the map, and then there's ones where I'm just screwing around. I'm just walking around, which kind of forms the basis of the entire Nice Hikes stream in the first place. Sans the violence and the
Well,
the
that wouldn't
crime.
be nice, would it?
No, it wouldn't be nice at all. But yeah, if I'm just screwing around, then I don't mind so much. But that's not going to be everybody's experience, and it shouldn't
I do
be.
the missions.
Yeah, it shouldn't be the basis for why you fail a mission. That you could have passed this mission, of course, yeah, if you did enough screwing around. It's like no, that's not.
Yeah, no,
It's
I liked. I've only played from 3 onwards, so I did 3. I did Vice City, I did San Andreas 4 and 5, and Liberty City Tales or whatever it was called, Tales from Liberty City.
Liberty City Stories.
That's the one. I played them as well, and yeah, San Andreas is the only one I didn't like.
Yeah, because it became necessary to grind EverQuest, grind your way through advancing the skill set of the character. Instead of you getting better at the game, you had to get your guy better at the game.
Exactly. That's the problem. And like I said, there's times when I want that. Like, I wouldn't want to play Chrono Trigger and not have a level up system. That
Hold
would
on,
just not fit that game.
Hold on. Because I was just about to say, I think there's a difference between unnecessary grinding and I guess somewhat pleasurable grinding. Because I would sit there and have no problem, and Quiz made fun of me about this. Have no problem spending a day. Oh, I'm gonna play some Dragon Warrior on the NES, and it'll just be me grinding, just gaining levels. And the same with like Chrono Trigger. Yeah. I'll sit there and like, oh, I'm gonna play some Chrono Trigger. I'm not gonna do anything from the story. I'm just sitting there, running around fighting monsters, and I don't see any.
What I would say a big difference is in Chrono Trigger is if you do the side missions, you won't need to grind. Like, there's never a point where you need to say, okay, the only thing I'm doing for the next hour is random fights. If you just do the side missions, you'll gain enough levels that you can eventually continue the main story.
Well, no,
So-
I mean more so, it's different than like PC RPGs where if I grind, I gotta grind a specific stat or area, and whereas things like Chrono Trigger, it's yeah, I just gotta get to this level experience, and then I gain a level. That's all I need. Um, and typically I do that just so that when I do the story, I can just flow through it. I don't have to deal with it later.
Right.
Oof.
So, I guess what I have to ask from the chat is,
Uh-oh.
if what would be your more preferred approach, just to have, um, if it's not an RPG game per se, we'll just put it that way. If it's not an RPG game per se, would you like to have your character good from the beginning, or to have to get good scrub him from the beginning? Do you want to, in other words, would you rather uh, have the basis of your failure of missions placed directly on your shoulders, or because your guy wasn't good enough yet?
Yeah, this is very much depends on the kind of game. Like obviously RPGs are one thing, but can you imagine playing Street Fighter where you lost because you hadn't leveled up your Hadouken enough?
Oh, what if they're gonna do it
Can
in the
you
next
imagine
one?
that stupid idea of a
Yeah.
game?
It's like the old adage: you could do everything right, but you would still lose.
Yeah.
You'd go in there, you'd have like your hand-eye coordination skills are like, they're on point, but your dude wasn't good enough, so he goes in there and gets his ass handed to them, even though you landed like
Yeah, you did
10
everything
times
right.
as
You
many
still lost.
hits as the guy that you're fighting, but your dude just wasn't up to snuff.
Yeah, exactly.
It doesn't matter if you
Come on, I
have
jumped right
memorized
over that.
patterns or all this other garbage. There's like a screen nuke and your guy's fucked, and yeah, it's because your guy wasn't good enough in the super duper experience,
Yeah.
experience skill. So he automatically rolls bad with the screen nuke, and he's screwed no matter how many hits you landed on the other guy. So you're essentially, the deck is stacked against you from the beginning, and it's essentially a no-win situation, because the game is geared towards owning your ass, despite how many combinations, how many skills, how many so on and so forth that you brought to the table. It's just your guy wasn't good enough because you didn't take the time to do the grind.
Yeah.
Take the
I
time.
think grinding
to
in
do
general
grind.
is just not fun, for the most part.
It would severely have to depend on the game.
Yeah. I don't know. Sometimes I like just zoning out and bashing out monsters.
So here's an interesting thing about this. You brought up Mega Man 5. There's a section in the Wave Man stage where you're in this jet ski.
Yeah.
And there's the illusion that you're moving forward because the background is scrolling by you, and the enemies are actually moving from one side of the screen to the other. But in reality, your character isn't actually moving. You're running back and forth, of course, but the animation of the character is such that it gives you the impression of you jet skiing forward.
And
But
I
you're
have
not-
to ask, is Wave Man Mexican?
No, but the music is
It's good
is
music.
somewhat influenced by Latin music. If you really
Okay.
listen to it.
I'll take that.
But I just noticed on the stage of the turtles here, much of the same illusion is being used here for these sky jets that they're jumping around on. Is that the skyjet itself is moving under the character as the character is moving back and forth. Instead of using a running animation, it's using sort of a slide animation, and it's essentially a static platform that you can't see, that the characters are able to move around on, that is not indifferent to what they would normally be walking around on. It's just that the animations are different and the background is going by in a different fashion. So
Out of curiosity, Adam, who are the other two people you're playing with? Are they just randoms or?
It looks like it's a guy named Pops and somebody who's playing alongside Pops.
Oh, so you don't know them; they're just random people.
Yeah, no.
Well,
when I play games like this, I tend to have it just like an open to public. And,
Okay.
well, shout out to Pops and guy that is playing alongside Pops.
Yeah, hey, thanks for giving us some entertaining video footage. Haha, we're gonna use your footage and not pay
Pops
you.
and Pops 1, thank you.
Yeah. Why? What do you like, Leonardo more?
Oh, thank you for contributing to our stream.
He did?
Yep, there's Pops and Pops parentheses 1 in parentheses.
Oh yeah. Well, you were part
Yeah,
of
the
this.
two of them, both Popses, contributed to the stream. So thank you for that.
Both Popses. Thanks, Popses. Pops 1 and Pops 2. Well, speaking of which, actually, sorry, Pops, because here's where
Been going 2 hours.
yeah, we're gonna. Here, I'm gonna close that so that you don't see me take Old Yeller back.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Sorry, Pops, guys. I'm gonna quit the lobby. It was fun. But yeah, I think we've hit the 2-hour mark.
Yeah.
Kind of flew by, didn't it?
Yeah.
That's that's always a good thing, because it shows that we had fun.
Yeah.
And that's the entire point of anything.
Well,
When-
I don't
when you
know.
have
We were
it's
talking earlier about entertainers swaying people to darkness and shit. I don't know if I want to do that, but I hope we at least entertain people. Made them laugh.
yeah. So they had a bucket of popcorn and had a little fun with us for 2 hours.
Yeah.
That's the important thing. That's the
It is.
takeaway.
Yeah, we're trying to bring it back. Get your popcorn. You know, I saw somebody.
Sometimes the rover get back to your misery.
Break time's over. Get back to work.
Yeah, now it's time to go back to work. But yeah, no, okay, so let's close this out here. I get my little spiel. Okay. So I wanna remind everybody that it's Monday, and I was subbing for good old Quiz. He's right now probably driving a forklift and shifting flavorings around.
And so talented, he's painting a mini at the same time.
And he's not puncturing any of these flavorings, causing explosions. Ask him about it; he'll tell you stories. So I was filling in, and as your host, Adam of Veggie Clan the First, I hope provided just some entertainment. As we're closing out here this evening, 6, anything you want to close out with?
Well, I have a video that I'm working on that'll be out later this week. I had to postpone my acquisition of Kitty Cat
Oh,
for a couple of days here while they do the surfaces of my apartment building, largely because they're shutting off one quarter or one half of the parking lot, which means that the same number of people that usually park here have to find a place to park, and it's typically becomes an issue um, finding a place to park here. So it's you have to really plan out exactly how long you're going to be because you don't have a guarantee of a parking spot when you get back. Whenever they do this, this is like the fifth or sixth time they've done the resurfacing since I've lived here, and it always sucks when they do it because you always have to plan stuff out ahead of time.
oh.
If you want to go to the store, you got to get your ass back at a certain time, or you're not getting a parking space, and you have to park outside the apartment complex, and that's a gamble. Even on this side of town, it's a gamble.
Ugh. That's some bullfuckery, man.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Man. Oh, I hope that clears up for you. Hopefully they're not doing that shit for too long.
Yeah, I'm trying to plan it out so if I have to go anywhere for any reason, I'm not going to be gone for very long, and I'll get back at a time where I'm not going to get screwed over as far as parking goes. Because right now I'm in a good spot, but that could easily change if I decide, hey, I'd like to go to the store to get more things that are flavorful. We can call them food, and um, if I leave now, then I come back, there's no parking space, so I have to walk a country mile from a place outside my complex just to get to my own apartment, and that sucks.
Yes, it does.
Yeah. Well, and hopefully we see your video come release out soon, as you say.
Tentatively Saturday.
Yes. Very nice. Terry, anything you'd like to say?
I look forward to Pops Man being introduced in the next Mega Man game.
Wait, Pops? Yeah.
Pops Man.
Pops Man.
Parentheses, 1 parentheses.
Yeah.
Yes, that's him.
Thank you, Pops Man. You know what? I'm gonna make sure to make an edit and thanks Pops Man, for helping us out in this show. He did help out, him and his buddy. I'd like to imagine it was like a little kids, and they're like, "Yeah, let's play some Ninja Turtles."
It may have been.
Yeah, and they're eating popcorn too. Oh shit! Oh,
Now you're part of Minions lore.
Yep. Congratulations, Pop Man, Pop Man 2. Oh shit! It's Corn Pop. Oh no!
Oh, dude.
You know, he was a bad dude.
He was a bad
He
dude.
was.
Corn Pop. I heard about you guys. Okay. Let's go off on a tangent. All right. So, with that, I think it's time to close up the shop. I'd like to thank everybody for coming out and hanging out with us on this wonderful Monday evening. And thank you, chat, for hanging out. Thank you, chat, for providing us with some wonderful stuff to talk about when we couldn't figure out anything on our own. And for everybody else, I think I've captured all the P's and Q's here. So I think, without further ado, Zoo's closed. I love y'all. God bless. Oh, and the zoo is closed. I said that before.
Hi, guys.
Take it easy.
Minions of the Zoo is recorded live in front of a live studio audience on tape. Damn it, I fucking fucked it up again.